Alderwoman Johnson. Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderwoman Melton.
Here.
Alderman Robinson.
Here.
Alderwoman Wilkins. Alderwoman Artis.
Here.
Alderwoman Carter.
Here.
Alderman Holt.
Here.
We have quorum to conduct city business.
Please stand for pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, I entertain a motion to adopt the agenda. Motion made by Alderman Martin, for a second. Second by Alderman Williams, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Item E, approval of minutes, looking for motion to approve minutes of December 11th, 2023 regular session. Motion made by Alderman Williams, is there a second? Second by Alderwoman Carter, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Item F, approval of warrants. Looking for approval of warrants for December 23, January 24, $172,391.01. Motion made by Alderman Williams, is there a second? Second by Alderman Robinson, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We go into mayor's report, item G. Additional 15 things from the mayor's report. If you didn't know, the senior building is about to open, our first senior citizen living complex. We're opening very, very soon. The announcements have been released. We have flyers on the table if anyone needs any flyers. The process, the city of Delwood is not involved in the process. There's a phone number on the flyer that they must call if they're interested, and they will, the management company will take it from there. I've been told once they are approved, they'll be moving within 24 hours of being approved. So it's gonna be a fast, quick process. Excuse me? No, there's a flyer. You gotta call for any communication information needed. So they anticipate, of course, those being probably filled sometime this month. There will be a ribbon cutting in February. Do not have the date at this moment, but the plans are to have a ribbon cutting in February. So please be mindful of that. Also, this week, there'll be a newsletter that will be coming out probably this week and next week. As you know, we do a biannual newsletter. This first newsletter will have a list of our calendar events that we have coming up, which we have several events coming up with our new revamped rec center and some things they're trying to do up there. But anticipate a newsletter to come out sometime this week or next week. Also, I had a meeting last week with Tom Weiss of Weiss Designs. We talked about, you'll be hearing more about in the next follow-up meeting here about the project. We'd like to move forward and there. So we met this week to kind of go over some details. And we have the contractor who's here in the back as well. And they'll be here today to answer some questions later on in the agenda to approve those items. If this was approved tonight, construction, I understand will start maybe next week or two.
As early as the 11th.
There's the 11th, which is this week.
Correct.
So you get more information about that later on. So that ends my report. Are there any board announcements? If there are none, we'll go to new business. Item A, city administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, citizens of Delwood. Good evening, board. I'd like to say Happy New Year to everyone. 2024 is starting off very, very fast. As the mayor mentioned, we'll be getting started with the rec center project. We're very excited about that. Also, you all will see a facelift on the website. So I'm working with the website team to kind of give our website a facelift and a new look, nice fresh look. And so you all will be seeing that soon. Getting things ramped up with the staff, starting off the new year. We're gonna have a staff meeting coming up to talk about our goals and recap 2023 and start 2024 even stronger than we ended 2023. Very busy in City Hall. We're doing business license renewals. Those are coming in and everything. So it's a lot going on in City Hall. The Missouri State legislators, they started their session last week, so I'll be on the lookout for any legislation that's dealing with municipalities, and I'll inform guys if anything pressing comes up, dealing with that, but I'll be watching the state session closely. Also, I just want to thank the board and the mayor for all your support in 2023, and we're going to have a even stronger 2024. And with all that being said, that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Item B, police activity report, Lieutenant Thompson.
Good evening again, everyone. For the month of November, I'm sorry, the month of December. We had 24 alarm calls, 3 assault reports, 3 accidental injuries, 27 auto accidents, 6 burglary reports, 14 disturbance calls, 14 stolen vehicles, 9 larceny reports, 1 missing person, 7 calls for open doors, 3 ordinance violations, 10 property damage reports, 1 sudden death, 51 sick cases, 19 suspicious persons, 8 calls for shots heard, 24 suspicious vehicles, 728 traffic violations, citations was written, 133 parking violations was written. And we had 9 911 hang-up calls, and brought us to a total of 590 calls for services for the month of December.
You go watch me?
Didn't have one.
Okay. Any questions for Lieutenant? Alderwoman Melton.
Where that accident happened on bus in Westwood, Jackman and Westwood,
Mhm.
do you know when they're gonna get that big, fence in that area?
Yeah, that's above our pay.
That's all we have to figure out,
Yeah, we're right.
Yeah,
The little gate thing there. Yeah.
because that's just a reminder.
I got you.
that was a Ferguson problem.
I was purpose
Yeah, yeah. Any other questions?
Well, Ferguson was chasing a vehicle that caused that vehicle to hit that vehicle. Mhm.
Any other questions for Lieutenant? Okay, our rec center director is 6, so we can report from the rec center. Item D, we go straight into some approval of contract. Item D, there's a rain garden project that we want to do. We know where the Delwood Park sign is located in Delwood Park, there on West Florissant. There's actually some grant that we did receive that. There needs to be approval of the contract for us to receive that. So this time I entertain a motion to approve the contract for the rain garden in Delwood City Park. Motion by Alderwoman Johnson, is there a second? Second by Alderman Williams, any discussion? Alderwoman Melton.
What's a rain? So basically, a rain garden is a garden that naturally dispenses the water, like rainwater. So instead of rainwater just going anywhere, it'll go into a designated spot. But it also looks nice as well. And so,
So the gardener?
is it a garden? No, right now it's just rocks over there. So it'll consist of flowers, rocks,
Yeah.
and all those different natural things that make the water naturally flow in the rain.
You're probably the only one to ask that question, so don't laugh too hard. On the whole.
So the grant will cover an outside company for the first year, and then after that, we also.
So they'll train us on how to take care of it.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? We did have to wait on it for a while because this should have been on the agenda a couple months ago, but because of the West Florissant project, they needed to work right in that area. So we had to make sure we had them talk to that group to make sure everything was, in other words, we're not building rain garden, they come busted up with the West Florissant project. So we got them on the same page, so. Roll call.
Alderwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Alderwoman Melton,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilkins,
Yes.
Alderwoman Artis,
Yes.
Alderwoman Carter,
Yes.
Alderman Holt.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Next on the agenda, we have approval of construction contract. So with that, we have Ms. Lindsay here on behalf of Weiss Design. Who's got a presentation?
Hi, Mayor, hi, Board, good evening. We just wanted to provide you a little bit of an update. So, back at the end of last year, the city was awarded, I'll wait just a second so you can see the slide. So those are some renders that we did to show you what the renovations to the rec center, the indoor improvements are gonna look like. And we just provided some samples of colors after you all approved the contract, and the colors and the samples, then Matt with McConnell, they can get everything ordered and get started, like you said, as soon as this week. So if you go to the next slide for me. That's existing conditions. It's the last time some of you have been in there, just to show everybody kind of what it looks like right now. Next slide. And this is how we got here. So the city of Delwood applied for the municipal park grant, an application that was back in August, and the city was awarded that grant. They found out at the, fall of last year. And so after we were authorized to start on plans, specifications, and we put some of those renders together too, which are more of the pretty pictures for everybody to see. And then now we've come to the process through the utilization of the TIPS program to have the city authorize McConnell and Associates, which is the lead contractor in the area that performs a lot of court improvements and similar improvements to what's going to happen to the rec center. So they're going to perform all the construction. We're going to oversee construction on behalf of the city, so we know everything that's going on and can report back to you. So next slide. The scope of work, just to kind of break down a little bit, this is on their proposal that you guys are approved, that their mobilization and demolition. You can see what's included there, what's being removed, the electrical equipment and what's being installed, LED fixtures, etc. Some revamp of the new lighting. You'll see a big difference when you walk inside. Next slide. Athletic equipment. So this includes some pickleball nets, and then we'll have 8 of the folding basketball goals as well. The surface is going to be a huge difference. So they're removing all of the existing material that's there now, and they're going to put down a surface that the mayor has a sample of so you can see, and they'll paint over it and have striping as well to outline the basketball courts, and then spacing similar to the renders that we showed for the pickleball courts as well. And there's going to be a track surrounding as well. Next slide. Also the storefront frame, plexiglass, that's all getting revamped. That's going to be fresh and new. Removal of the drinking fountain. They're revamping the concession stand lighting and painting everything in the multi-court room only. Next slide. Cleaning of some of the ductwork in the multi-court rooms. This is going to be actually, might as well make sure everybody is, everything's clean as far as the ductwork goes. There's also going to be a center curtain that'll divide, so if there's basketball going on between the two courts, it doesn't get in the way of one another. And then finally, the touchscreen controls. So that there'll be a touch screen, and all of them can come down and operate, all the basketball goals and the center curtain as well. User friendly. This is the budget that was outlined in their proposal. And then next slide just shows, this is the cover sheet of our plans. That's the details, down and dirty measurements, things like that. You can go to the next slide, please. And next slide just shows painting of similar to what was on the previous page, less details. That's what McConnell is going to build for us. Next slide. And then it just, outlining what the next steps are. Approval of McConnell's contract. And then as soon as we have that approval, then they can get started. We tentatively have options for a pre-con meeting as soon as January 10th. And then from there, then we'll schedule construction meetings and be able to update you all on how everything's going. We're hoping pretty quick turnaround and a punch list in April. So anybody have them?
The punch list in April, what is the projected completion date?
Right now, I'm projecting early April. I'm just working with a tentative timeline right now. As soon as I get approval, I confirm some of those things up, but, early April dates right there, I posted April 15th, or the week of April 15th is what I'm targeting, for us to walk through. Do it any punch list items, obviously, with any project. You guys see something you want us to correct, things like that. We need some time to do that, and then we'll turn it over to you guys following that.
Any other questions? Alderman Carter.
Yes. A question that I have, and it's come to my attention, that some soccer teams have been displaced. I'm not sure if any turf can ever be put down to accommodate any indoor soccer. And I'm not sure what the cost would be or anything like that, but they are being displaced, and it's come to my attention.
Well, we have none of our teams being displaced. We have people that rent, send them out.
Right, yeah.
Which, so it's not, yes, we don't have to,
Accommodate.
Accommodate
I know
them.
it's people in the community.
yeah, it's only a few though. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
not used, the main purpose of going to this project is so it can be used more.
Yes.
There's only a few soccer people that rent out, mostly adults, to be honest with you. There's an African group, and there's a
Kids.
around the kids league, we have kids that rent it for practice. There's no leagues up there, and has not been leagues for years at the rec center. So that was the purpose of trying to get something with more traction, more foot traffic, and more usage. And soccer, worked at one time, but yeah, it's just not. We're not getting a lot of usage out of it for soccer.
Absolutely, I think my question was if in the future that soccer did come back and grow in this community again, is there a way to roll out turf to be able to have indoor soccer? That was just a question, not if we're gonna move forward. I just wanted to-
I mean, it's another major project, so yeah, you have to cover this. You can't take it off and put it back on.
Okay, that was my question,
Yeah.
like if it's some type of, retractable, I don't know, like turf or anything like that, they could be able to.
I will add, the material that we're using, once we put the cushion material down, the cushion X, that is pretty much permanent unless you want to redo the entire facility. But we go through and we do an acrylic latex coating over it that has sand, certain levels of size sand in it. So in the future, if you guys came back and said, hey, we want to go to soccer, we want to go to something else, it's very, in the scope of things, it's very easy for us to come back and we can either line futsal for indoor soccer, or we can completely repaint a court, in anything like that. So,
I think
Yes,
my question was
yes,
like,
but
so
not-
basketball hoops that you can take away, something like that, that's what I was asking.
So those
That
aren't
is
gonna be
permanent.
on the surface, they're just gonna be the raise and lower from the ceiling itself. The surface that's on there is multi-court,
yes.
or multi-surface, so there's all kinds of sports that can be played, so they could potentially still host a practice or training or something like that there. It's not gonna be turf, but it's still something that a lot of kids in the area practice on just for, athletic improvement in agility, whatever it is. So it's supposed to be something that multi-sport, basketball, pickleball, track, walking track, so.
Nelson.
I'm just curious as to what the maintenance cost for the upkeep, yearly will be.
Every 2 to 3 years, we tend to check facilities for cracking. With this surface, we're hiding all the blemishes and all the cracking underneath. So unless something extreme happens, we don't anticipate that being an issue. However, every 6 to 8 years, especially outside, is a recommendation for a total resurfacing, which would be going back over the surface, repainting everything. However, indoors, that life would be extended by probably more like 8 to 10 years.
So you said the maintenance upkeep one is every 8 to 10.
Yes, every 8 to 10 years.
And that's just the reacting and everything, or that's just as needed, if there's fading and stuff?
If there's fading, I mean, you could do it earlier, you could do it later, depending on, it's really up to how often it's played, what the usage is on the space, and really what your desired look is. If you don't like the faded colors over time, you can always come in and do it earlier, but the material really doesn't need to be redone and touched up until 8 to 10 years down the road.
And then come out the deal with pocket.
But is it a complete resurface or is it just a paint?
We'll paint, we call it a resurface, so,
But not
It's gonna keep.
correct,
surface.
yes, sorry, I'll clarify, that cushion X surface that we put down, that cushion that we talked about, that remains. The only thing we do when we resurface is we just add additional coats of paint.
Portion, which is minimal, which is similar to any court that they do. They have maintenance contracts with people just to make sure. But it is also inside, so it's not gonna have the wear and tear of if you had an outdoor court. So it should have a much longer life.
Correct.
Any other questions?
Yeah,
Alderman Hope.
the rendering that we have, is that how it's gonna look with the cover and all this stuff, or is that stuff still to be decided? Or is that?
As of right now, we're still looking at maybe, we got time to kind of work on that.
No, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Any other questions? If not, looking for a motion to approve, construction contract.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Williams, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Alderwoman Johnson. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Alderwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Alderwoman Melton,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilkins,
Yes.
Alderwoman Artis,
Yes.
Alderwoman Carter,
Yes.
Alderman Holt. Motion passed.
Thank you.
This time we're going to sign permits, we do them all together. We need, motion to approve 10208 West Florissant, another one at 102 West Florissant, and the Smiley Auto Tire at 9930 West Florissant.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Robinson, is there a second? Second by Alderman Melton, any discussion? Roll call.
Alderwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Alderwoman Melton,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilkins,
Yes.
Alderwoman Artis,
Yes.
Alderwoman Carter,
Yes.
Alderman Holt.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. We have 4 liquor license renewals, 9797 West Florissant, 1620 Chambers Road, 1490 Chambers Road, and 999 West Florissant. Motion to approve.
So moved.
What's your name? Sorry. Motion made by Alderman Johnson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Williams, any discussion? Roll call.
Alderwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Alderwoman Melton,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderwoman Wilkins,
Yes.
Alderwoman Artis,
Yes.
Alderwoman Carter,
Yes.
Alderman Holt.
Yes.
Motion passed.
This concludes the business portion of our meeting. Now it's time for public portion. If you have public comments, please state your name, address, and your public statement.
Ellis Fitzwalter, 7 South Schluter. I understand the past couple of weeks has kind of been a little hectic and crazy down in South Schluter, but I was asked by Rick McDonald of 52 South Schluter to give a big thank you to the way the police have been handling things down there.
Thank you. Any other comments? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn. Any motion for it?
So moved.
Oh, so moved. I'm sorry, I already said something. I said yes. Motion made by Alderman Artis, second by Ms. Melton. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. We adjourn. Hey, y'all.